Hello guys, it's Woolly Creeper here again, and got another tutorial for you, and today is to do with space stations or palaces in the sky or anything else you want to build up near the build limit, and how to get in and out of them with minimal footprint on the ground and no big ugly vertical wires. So welcome to Orbital 1, Big Mesa's brand new research ship. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to demonstrate the system, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start, as we're up here already, with how you get down. So we've got this little exit booth, press the button, and there we go. So I'll have as you can see, we're going down on a very thin sliver of water. It's nice and controlled. Yes, you could use a quick drop, it'd certainly be faster, but I kind of like this system really. It's like you're going down on a magical platform, and the water's nice and thin, so we're not going to get loads of spread at the bottom, as you'll see in a sec, and also it's as fast as you can descend in water like this. And there you go, the water disappears as if by magic. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Something smaller in the inventory. There we go. Right, so when we want to get back up, I'll just take a moment to have a look. Press a button. Obviously, this box here can be hidden underground. You can just run some redstone down from the button. First thing that happens is our ascension pod arrives, and the ascension beam will follow it. Obviously, it's a boat and a column of water which is making its way down here. So while this is coming, we'll have a just quickly explain. Yes, this is slow. It's an obvious disadvantage, but as you can see, it's completely wireless, and unlike, I did experiment with using, nice smooth ride up. I did experiment around with using like launch pads, like TNT cannons, to try and launch myself up into the station. But the accuracy isn't too hot on those. They have a massive footprint, and resource-wise, just getting home take a lot of TNT. Right, I did manage to get up to the build limit, but I think it was something mad, like, I don't know, half a stack of TNT or something each time. And because of the inaccuracy, you need a catch. Oh, have a look at this view. This is lovely. There you go. Okay, I can jump out. Just a minute. Where was I? Yes. So yeah, you need like a catch room, which you can do with building a room with a floor of signs and a layer of water, and as long as you're holding space as you get fired up into it, then if the water's got a stream over to the door, you'll then bob along to the door. Problem is, with the inaccuracy of cannons, you end up needing a really big catch room. I'd love to see a cannon design that would just pop you up here, no problem. Must be honest, I only tested that in creative. I'm not entirely even sure that you could survive a cannon blast of that magnitude in survival, but the inaccuracy made it a moot point. I wasn't happy with that as a design. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and build another one of these, and I've given ourselves some build areas over here, pre-prepared some because it'd be a really long tutorial otherwise. And our new dissension will be over here, and that's what we're going to start with. It's the quicker of the two, and obviously after you've towered up to start building your station, an easy way down is probably quite well, it's probably a reasonably useful thing to have, although I guess you can use the ascension beam to get down as well, but let's do this anyway. Right, so we've got a corridor 3x3, and what we're going to do, we're just going to knock out the end. Now obviously if you're building this in survival, you're going to want to chuck some water down, float down, build some dirt down and make some scaffolding to work on, like one of those high-rise steel workers you see in black and white photos of New York and when they were building the Empire State and things like that. Just some dirt scaffold. I'm not going to do that because it'd take ages, and I'm in creative at the moment so I can fly. Anyway, we're going to knock that out as well, and we're going to knock that out as well. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to set up a water trough to hold the water, and that's going to be here. Okay, let's just put a bottom on that. Okay, so the water's going to sit here and flow into this hole here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to bang a sticky piston here and a half slab here. Okay, and that will allow us to place our water. Here. Okay, and I've already made a mistake, but not a bad one. You can do it like this, if you don't mind this piston being viewable. The alternative is to drop this all down by one, sticky piston, put a half slab there and a half slab there, and then a water, and then basically what that allows you to do is just nicely walk down into this space here. Okay, so that's better. Put that in there, and that's going to be our end wall, or the bottom half of it at least. Nothing we can really do about showing that bit of sticky piston off. Okay. Fly! Right, okay. So put that in there, and that in there, and right, okay. I'm just full of mistakes today. Our piston actually wants to go one back because it wants to be on by default. So I'll get my act together in a sec, don't worry. We'll just run some blocks out here and grab a torch and some redstone and power this piston up. Away and bang, and there we go. Right, okay. So now that's powered by default. Okay, so we need a method to turn this off. So we'll just put some blocks around. Now we're going to turn it off with a button. So what we want is for that button to turn this torch off. So we can use a simple inversion of the signal with the torch we've just placed, like that. Pop our button down here, put it down lower than last time. In the demo model it was one block higher than this. There we go, and okay. Now if we pop out, we'll see that's released this block of water. Now, if this is okay, and it travels about the same speed as the little sliver, but I didn't really like that. I wanted it to be almost non-existent amount of water, small as possible. Fortunately, that's very easy to do. We just incorporate a pulse limiter into the system. So what we want is we're going to run a second line of redstone along here. Okay, now we need this to be delayed, and the ideal delay is one repeater on max delay and one repeater on minimum delay, and that works out quite well because this here is a bit dodgy, having this corner here. We want this to run really straight, so let's break that. Now what this also does is it stops the power coming back into the system, self-powering, which would be bad, and we can break that, put that in there, and set one of these to max. Now, assuming I've got this right, of which there is no guarantee. Okay, made a mistake here somewhere. Let's set this to slightly less delay. I swore it was. Okay, and slightly less. Maybe it was 2 on minimum. I swore. So obviously, like all of my redstone stuff, plenty of optimization needed. Ah, no. Needs more delay. That's the problem. There we go. So 1 on maximum and 1 on the first setting, and that gives you this little sliver. So let's test that properly. Now I'll explain quickly. The reason we need this to be a half slab and not a block is when you press the button, if it's a block you will have full momentum a little bit when you hit the water and you'll just shoot straight through it. Not a problem if you're using it without the limiter and you've got that bigger column of water, but if you've just got this, any amount of fall and you'll just shoot straight through, even if you're holding spaced, which I'm not doing at the moment. Hands off, completely hands free. Okay, let's go back up. But the half slab eliminates that because you don't get any form momentum travelling from a half slab to the next full quad. Just a sec. Well, what a disappointment that was. Knock on the door, thought it might be my new keyboard or my new mouse, and just someone asking about loft installation. Bloody brilliant. Right, okay. Where was I? Covered full momentum. Yeah, you don't get any full momentum if you drop down from, you know, x equals something 0.5 to x equals something 0.0. So that's why you need the half slab if you're going to use the pulse limiter here. Okay. And that's pretty much it for dissension. You can have a nice look. There you go. And obviously you can block this all off, cover it up, as long as you don't cut any redstone, no problem. Okay, right, so obviously you want to put an end wall on here. Right, so let's have a look at the much more complicated setup that goes in this area here. This is Ascension and Beam Me Up, so on. I've created a build area, so consisting of our arrivals place and this platform here to hold our electronics. Obviously, and there's some more that's going to go into the roof here, but I've made a start. Basically, we've got this 4x3 ring, and on the sides, blocks off there, okay, for pistons to sit on, and pads here for repeaters and wiring. which will power these blocks and in turn power the pistons. And let's get on with it, because first time I recorded this it turned into an hour and 10 and I made half a dozen mistakes. So God knows how long this is going to be. Right, let's right, easiest way is probably going to be to knock out these 3 blocks here. So you need 3 pistons on that side. Three pistons on this side. And 3 pistons on this side. Okay, we're going to power those pistons with repeaters to the blocks below. And that's just to channel redstone straight in, really, and allow us to drop the wiring down by 1. You could do it in different ways. It's just the way that, as I was figuring it out all on the first one over there, this is the way I settled on that actually eventually started to work. Okay, and just basically spring some wiring down here. Important point, don't have any wiring in this place here, because this piston will power this block, which will power this wire, which will go around and power, sorry, this repeater, go around and power the repeater again, causing an endless loop. So you need to have that gap. If I sound clearer and more confident today, it's because no one else is in the house, and I have a crushing fear of being laughed at by my wife, who finds all this incredibly amusing in a nice way still. Doesn't make things easy. Right, let's pop a torch on to test, and whoop-de-doo, this all closes up, leaving this gap here. Now there's a reason that we need this gap here, which I may or may not get into if I remember. Okay, so power's going to come from here. Now, because of the length of the redstone, we can't just run redstone down here. It needs to go into a repeater here. Okay, so let's track this back. Boop, boop, boop. And up into our electronics bay. Boom. And boom. And I'm going to put a block down here and a torch to power it and test. Yep, still powers all the pistons. Okay, right. Now, in order to trigger this, what we're going to need is wireless redstone of the type discovered by someone whose name I can't remember, and that I saw on 777 Static 777's channel, Sean Static. So go check his video out. It does a cool little archery mini game. In the second video he does about this, and the first one shows you how to do it all, and it's great. And he also links the original inventor. So check his video out because he's great, and then use that to check out the original guy whose name begins with a B, can't remember. Okay, so we're going to make a little clock. It's probably the simplest clock I've found. One torch, one redstone, one repeater, set to 3. You can't really set it any faster. You can kind of set it faster. That might work. If you set it to 1, the torch will burn out. That actually seems stable on the second delay set in there, so that's okay. Let's try that, eh? Experimentation in your tutorial, that's the way to do it. Gee. Right, okay. We want a sticky piston here, some redstone. Woo! Look at that. Really trucking. Okay. So this is metronomic up and down. If we add a torch here, however, it's up more than down. It goes down and up, and then stays up for a short while. And this is good. This is what we want. Okie dokie. I'm going to bang a couple of blocks here. And pressure plate on this one. This block is temporary, so, you know, if you're building your space station out of iron blocks and you're in survival, yeah, this one can be something else. Okay, don't need high slabs anymore, I don't think. Gonna bang a boat there and get rid of that block. And then what we want is either glass or iron bars. Now, I'm using glass here, and I'm not massively hopeful about the outcome, I must be honest. Glass seems to be more buggy than iron bars, however, that system runs with iron bars, and if I use iron bars in this one, they'll both get triggered at the same time, it'll cross-talk, it'll be horrible. Hey, look at that. Timing. Right, so, boat is suspended by the glass. Beautiful. Right. Now, just as a very quick demo, but go and watch Sean's video, Static's video. This is how it works though. If I look at this, whenever this moves, it can't be stationary, but as it moves, it updates its bounding box based upon what's going on in the world, okay? So it's got this bounding box, then it's got this bounding box. It's this bounding box, this bounding box. Looking's good, touching stronger, arrows are even stronger. So if I put an arrow in there and go against here, nothing's going to happen unless I collect this arrow up. Pretty creative. Right, okay, so let's get rid of that. Anyway, so what we can do is we can do a similar setup down on the ground, and by breaking the bounding box and letting the boat drop, we could actually just wire this straight up to our system. And then these pistons will open when the boat drops. And as there will be a boat sat in this gap here, it will drop the boat. That's all well and good. This system, even with iron bars, is quite glitchy, I find. Especially, I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that, you know, we're sending the signal from 100 to 251. But if you just wire it straight in, the thing will just keep going off at random intervals, no matter what you use as, you know, glass or iron bars. Iron bars are better, but I find. So, what we're actually going to do is, firstly, we're going to make it so that this boat has to be down for a reasonably prolonged period before it'll actually trigger our system. And the way we're going to do that is with an AND gate, with both feeds off here, one of them being delayed. Okay, so where we're going to put this? Yeah. Right, AND gate here. Do it with 3 blocks. AND gates are dead simple. 2 torches, powering a wire. That wire's being then unpowered, and then there we go. Should have moved it across one, never mind. Now if either one of these torches is off, the wire will still power, so this won't come on. If both of them are off, then that is off, so that will power, and that will go, and there you go. So the other end of the AND gate will go with 1, 2, 3 repeaters, maximum delay, like that. And what that means is, this is instantaneous, this is delayed quite a bit, so if the boat just goes down and back up, this torch will relight before this torch can go out. And I guess I can grab some glass and just show you that very quickly. Okay, so let's see, right, we're going to look at this, there you go, right, if we look at this pane and look away, this torch never goes on. If we look at it for a while, There you go. Okay? Right. Now the second thing we're going to do to make this more reliable is this system will have an automatic reset, so the boat will arrive and reset the system. We don't want this to stop. If it goes off, we want it to go for an entire cycle and not leave the boat stranded at the bottom. So we're going to turn this bit, which is why I did it on the block, into a latch. Okay. So now we've got this here. If we apply some power to this side, get rid of it. Brilliant. Right. So now, if we do the same test, okay, so it triggered there, but then the boat has gone back up, but the pistons have still retracted because this latch keeps it out. Okay, taking too much time here. Right, so we'll do that test one more time so you can see it properly, because I did that by accident. Ready, so down, and gate triggers, and then the latch holds it. So if this glitches down for a time long enough to trigger the AND gate, then basically it won't actually just set the system off and then shut it off before the boat has time to get back. Right. Not doing a great job. I'm very conscious that this takes a long time to build, and that basically, oh well, it just took too long last time. So let's build the ceiling. Let's check I've got that in the right place. No, I haven't. We want our water to fall down in the second open spot there. Okay, the middle. Like so. And we're going to, don't think that's necessary, but I like doing it. Let's just place our water. There we go. Right. Yep, that's going down the right place. Now that's going to be controlled by a piston. You can not use a normal piston here, but I can't be bothered to get one out of the inventory. Controlled by a piston. Now these pistons are extended at the moment, so the water should be off, which means, well, there's power coming from here. Great. So basically, when this wire's powered, this piston needs to be powered as well. So what we can do is, well, the simplest thing to do is actually just to there we go. Right. So now, when these retract, that piston retracts also, releasing the water, which is what we want. I'm not going to demonstrate it. Oh, yeah, here we go. I'll just put some power on this end. There we go. And there we go. Brilliant. So now, what we want is a way for this system to reset when the boat comes up. Okay? And what we're going to do there, what you could do is you could just have a button on the wall which will power a button on the wall which will power this side of the latch, thus resetting the pistons, and also power a dispenser to fire an arrow into something like that. Okay? No, sorry, something like that. Okay. Now we're going to need that bit, so let's do that. Dispenser. There we go. should work. Not really, you want this covered so you can't see it, and thus give it a bounding box. Let's put some arrows in. Yeah, that'll be enough. So as I say, we could just have, we'll just put a temporary button here, powering this, and this. Okay, so that's on. If we push the button, in fact, let's get this boat to sink down. Right. Well, if it is sank down, that'll do that. And that will reset the bounding box by shooting an arrow into it, and it'll pop it up. You might have to just trust me on that, it's kind of hard to demonstrate. And so your boat will come up, you'll sit here, you'll do this, poof, these pistons will come in and hold the boat, the water will stop, and the latch, by resetting the latch, and this is popped up if it's not already up. Hey presto. However, if this does glitch out, and I've had to do a lot of dealing with this basically, what happens if it glitches out? Basically, what we need is a way for an empty boat arriving to reset the system. So, this is how we're going to do it. Okay, let's just build up the walls here. Dum, dum, dum. And power those things. Yeah, okay. If you put a fence post with a pressure plate on top of it, standing on the pressure plate will not trigger the system. Will not trigger the, sorry, will not send a current. However, if you press up against the side of it, and even that out, it will. You can hear it. It's very strange. And an empty boat will also trigger it, which is nice. No, obviously I can't jump over there anymore. Now, you can then take redstone current off the side, which is lovely. Now, the problem with this is, I think it looks awful, but practicalities, as in real space, the practicalities outweigh the aesthetics. Yeah, basically, just got to go with what you need to go with in order to make the system work. So yeah, basically that's how we reset. So now if a boat comes up empty, it will trigger those. You kind of need two, or you can use one, but then you need to use a pulse sustainer, it seems. We'll see how this works. Works without pulse sustainer over there, but I had some trouble in my last tutorial effort. Unfortunately, you can't send power from these through a block, so, and this is a real pain in the bum, you end up with a hole in the wall like that. Now, you probably saw out into the world over there, because I opened it up to check it out, and I didn't close it. Oh, big black spike. Right, so, yeah, you just have to kind of close this up as best you can to make it pretty, like that. But effectively that's just taking power from into that same line we'd attached the button to, and there you go. So you can do a little to just like kind of make it, you know, a little bit more, a little bit less of a, there you go, right, ping, right, cool. Now, obviously, you probably want to put a door in somewhere, not there. I'll put a door in so you can go around and refill your dispenser. Little touches. Okay, so last thing to note is, right, we can now cover this up. That's good, and what we'll do is we'll put, I wonder if you could put stone pressure plates on. You could probably put stone pressure plates on. No, you can't. Right, okay. What I did was half slabs here, just to cover this ugly mess as much as possible. Nothing I can do about those. Last thing you need to do is, and this is why there's a gap here at the back, basically when you've got a boat floating up, the boat occupies this square here. Now, I can understand, you could understand that you'd need maybe a block, because boats are bigger than 1x1, you'd need a block free on all four sides to stop the boat going past. And that's pretty true, apart from these pressure plates, which it can move through. However, it actually also needs a block free of air at the back of the water stream as well. It effectively needs a block on all sides of the water stream as well. So that's why we've got this extra gap back here, because yeah, I mean you could put a piston behind there. You're still going to have a too wide gap. It's up to you. Stretches the wire in a little bit. Or I guess you could put a double extender in, but then you're going to end up seeing a piston head in this space here, so there's no real elegant solution to that. However, what we do is we put blocks here, okay, and what they do is, I'm just going to double check that now, because after all the mistakes I made last recording, no, you can actually bring it down. That's cool. I was right first time. So you can put blocks here. Now what that does is that stops the boat moving up past a certain level, and it stops it burying your head in the ceiling, which is not pleasant. Okay, so what we can do now is, you can take the dissension beam down, but we're creative, so I'm going to fall. We're going to create our core system. Okay, so this is where our boat's going to land. What you want to do is clear out a T shape like this, an X shape in fact like this. Take those two corners out as well, and bang something temporary there, and put a boat. Now I'm getting better at finding things in this inventory on that square there, and the reason we need this below is just so when you place the boat it sits nicely here rather than clipping into the blocks. We can get rid of it afterwards. No, we can't. You need something there. Stone pressure plate will do the job. Hello. Okay. I could have swore I didn't need that over there. Maybe I did. Ah, no, it does seem that if you put a block behind it, well, it doesn't make sense. This will work though. So if we replace a boat, off it goes, up into the sky. Okay, while that's doing that, we'll build our core system, and in fact, yeah, let's bury this one. Okay. Stick a hole, and we're going to want glass, and we're going to want a dispenser. Okay, we'll want dispenser here. Now I believe we want the glass on that side. Right, like that. And what that should do, that boat get all the way up there? If we then, now, you could put all sorts of secret hidden methods of doing this. You know, using bud switches or particle detectors, or even, you know, a bit of smooth stone on with a pressure plate on, so it's nice and sort of blends in. There we go. So, what? Oh, you see it reset? Oh, there you go. Just caught it. I've just called it now. Just called it again. Here comes the boat. Beautiful. Works. So we can cover this up like that, and quickly jump in the boat before. Well, it's not like it's a mad rush. Unfortunately, that is the disadvantage of this. Cannon would be nice because you just step in and go, but this turns Minecraft into Half-Life, really. Waiting for an incredibly slow elevator to arrive. However, it's lovely and smooth and rapid on the way up. I like that, you know. Much quicker than swimming up water. Not as quick as being fired up by TNT, but yeah, let's not go into that again. So, yeah, made a few mistakes that time. But hey ho. I'm nothing but a wee noob when it comes to doing these videos anyway, so up we go. Now, a couple of points actually while we're going up. Oh, we're just arriving actually. Beautiful. So this goes up, pop, doof. So that wall there stopped us going up and head in the ceiling syndrome, which is what would have happened. We can now, oh, that seems to be a little bit of a glitchy thing sometimes. Let's just get in again. Yeah, there we go. It's because I've got fly mode on. That's why that moved then. If you're in it and where is that? There we go. Walk. Right, just a minute. I'm going to stop recording because that boat's now misplaced. I need to reset this system back up, so yeah. Okay, we're going to go for another check of that. See if we can figure out what happened. Interesting point. If you jump out your boat and while you're going up and stand on it, for some reason you become, I don't know, heavier outside the boat, but it's like perfectly stationary. And I've done this for a while. Never goes anywhere. Anyway, right click and resume. Right, okay. I really don't want to have to break all this apart and record this tutorial again. Right, okay. Clear above. Yeah, but okay. Boat must have not been placed properly. Maybe the pistons extended a bit too early. And the cure for that will be just to place a repeater. Yeah. There. And what I should do is just delay it so the boat is firmly up past the pistons before they extend. Gee, right, we're going to go and do a couple more tests and double check that that actually does work. Don't want to be giving you guys information that's not grade A perfect. Sorry. Whee! Okay, I'll stop recording until we're up there again. Actually, while we're going up, I was going to mention some stuff. I think I said I was going to mention some stuff earlier. Right, at the moment, I've got this working from 100 height, which is the height of Big Mesa. Got fed up with the slime, so I MC edited in this massive plateau. Up to build limit, or at least the top of the station's at build limit. And that's great. That's really good, actually. I did try to do this from my old facility at height 5, which didn't work too well, actually. Oh, let's just see. Pop. Ah, yeah, that's it. So the repeaters fix that. We'll try one more time while I'm talking. Now, you do seem to get an issue with basically with ghost water. The last you got a column about 10, 20 blocks high of water, which wasn't actually, it was graphically there. At the bottom this is, was graphically there, but not actually there. And the number of glitches out with the wireless system multiplied. Oh, it was unusable, basically. It just would not stay reset, basically. And I'm pretty certain that's to do with the extreme height difference. So I probably would go with saying this isn't really an option for Bedrock to build height. Basically, it's just not reliable at all. However, I've got this working pretty reliable from 100 to build limit, which, you know, 100 is probably pretty reasonable. I mean, you know, you might need to build it at the top of a hill or something, but not a massive hill. You know, I think this train must be at 100, surely. I never really checked, actually. Never thought about it, but I think that's reasonably good. And it was only the last 20 odd blocks towards the ground that started ghosting out with the water. And maybe I'm not going to build this all again, but maybe if yeah, that's working beautifully. Maybe, you know, that if it was raised up 20 blocks, it would stop it triggering all the time as well. I encourage you guys to check it out. I do not have the willpower to getting this to work to this stage was a royal pain in the arse. So yeah, go check it out. See if you can figure it out. I'm not gonna. But yeah, obviously, as always, my wiring leaves a lot to be desired. I'm sure some redstone genius like Pear Squirrel or Etho or any of those guys would be able to compact this down and make it, or Sean himself, static, you know, you could probably do it. Compact it down, make it more reliable and work in a smaller area, which is always useful in a space station, where space and weight are valuable, but you know, it works. And has succeeded in thoroughly turning me off the idea of building a space station in single-player survival. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to the observation deck. There we go. Yeah, so I hope you liked the video. You know, I'd be well interested to see if anyone makes anything amazing with it. However, that is me out. Bye bye.